Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to another episode of Beyond Off Topic or Rapid Fire, whatever the heck we're calling it.
What's the name? We gotta pick a name.
It's called Watch and Subscribe. The video channel show.
The YouTube show.
Subscribe. Please just subscribe. They're like, make more people subscribe. I'm asking you, as me to you, please subscribe to the video channel that you're watching this on. Anyway.
I already did. That's why
All right. Well, maybe they just stumbled upon it. I don't know. Anyway.
That website doesn't work anymore.
Stumble upon. Anyway, Spencer Haskell writes, if you could reinvent Crash Bandicoot, how would you do it? We're getting rumors right now that there is a new Crash Bandicoot game in the works. What do you guys want it to be?
Spyro the Dragon.
Oh, you just straight up Spyro the Dragon?
I just do Spyro now, please.
Oh, you don't even want a Crash Bandicoot?
I
grew up with both. I'm sorry. I did grow up with both. I don't know.
A two-animal household here.
Chloe, that's like if I was like, what do you want from the Mexican restaurant? And you're like, Japanese.
I probably would say that. Sorry, I ruined it.
I want a totally different food for dinner. Why are you getting Mexican?
So aside from Spyro, what would the Crash Bandicoot have to do to win your favor?
Get that man some pants.
Thank you. It's
With
time
weird
for
shorts.
Some full-length pants.
Look, Nathan Drake goes spelunking and climbing with full adult long pants on, and
Crash can do it too.
Yeah, Crash
I believe in him.
What kind of pants would Crash Bandicoot need in this day and age?
Jinko jeans.
Oh my God!
Really? I love that they're like, we've given him a hip new look that also is honoring his 90s past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sort of a John Cena of a man, right?
Check it out. I got pipes.
I think Jinko jeans. Should he get a shirt?
Yeah. Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
This is it. Hard-hitting video game journalism. I think he needs a shirt. I think he needs pants. I also think he needs to be a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't just like
You wouldn't have to
leave
change
us
the
a
name.
comment in the comments.
Crash is a non-gender neutral name. Anyone can be named Crash.
Yeah.
It's a sound.
There's also like Candy Bandicoot or whatever. There's like there's that other
The girl one.
Yeah, there's the
girl
womanly Bandicoot.
You always gotta get the girl one.
Named Candy.
Yeah.
That's what Candy Kong's name is, right?
I don't know if her name's Kate. I forgot those Crash's Bandicoot sister's name.
Crash's Bandicoot sister.
It's weird though because he's this man who's got these he just runs around with no shoes, or he's got shoes. He's got like these little pants. He's got his shirt off all the time for some reason. But then his sister shows up and she's got like normal proportions and she's got like she's fully clothed.
You remember the army men game?
Yeah.
With they're all green, but then the girl is like just human skin toned color.
That's so unsettling.
I don't like that at all.
I think Crash Bandicoot should be a human person this time.
I'm almost with you there. That would be interesting if it was the human. It was like the old mascot costume.
Yeah.
What if you're like the whole game is you being that old like 90s like Crash Bandicoot mascot and you've got
like the fursuit.
Yeah, and you've got to go. You got to like drive like your gremlin to like Nintendo headquarters with a megaphone. You're like, hey Nintendo, hey. You suck.
Do you know how unsettling it would be to play a platform, like a mascot platforming game where at the end of the level, it was like, congrats, you did it. And he just took his helmet off and he was like, God,
yeah.
it's
Lights up a cigarette.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
I'd also be so good.
On that note, I'd also like to. I think the key to fun is realism, and I think if we're playing a game about a bandicoot, it needs to be a realistic bandicoot. I want one that's like you're playing a nature movie. I want it to be the most photorealistic game about bandicoots ever.
That's what I always said about Jersey Devil, another popular 3D platformer on the PS1.
Is it
Jersey
based
Devil.
on the real?
He's remake Jersey Devil and make him look like what Jersey Devils actually look
Like a real
which
cryptid?
are horrifying.
What about the hockey team Jersey Devil mascot? That's a terrifying man.
I want them to mocap a bandicoot. I want them to put little balls all over that endangered animal and set it loose.
It's 2018. It's time for a womandicoot.
Don't say that word.
I'll say that word as often as possible.
All right. Sam
Did we answer
Harris,
the question? I think we're good.
I think that's pretty good. Crash Bandicoot reboot. We heard it. We did it here. Sam Harris writes, "What are your favorite places in the world?"
Couch.
That's not a place. That's an object. That's a furniture. What do you?
I love that couch.
Couch.
I love a couch.
Chloe, what's your favorite place in the world?
Well, we were talking about Yakuza earlier. I love Shinjuku so much in Tokyo.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite neighborhoods.
I was actually thinking my answer for this is somewhat similar. It's the Cerulean Tower in Shibuya, which is right outside of Shibuya Crossing, but overlooks like all of Tokyo. And I remember I got there in 2014 and it took like 15 hours to get there. And I was like, oh my God. And I got into the elevator and I went all the way up and I dropped my bags and I opened up the room and I opened up the blinds and I was on like the 25th story looking over all of Tokyo. And I just like kind of collapsed and started tearing up. And I was like, I've never seen anything like this. I've always wanted to see this.
So cool.
And also my couch.
Yeah, couch, and also
Nearby.
other side of the earth. No, I mean I went to Tokyo a few years ago. I'm probably gonna go honeymoon there later this year. But like I love that place. It's totally like one of those. I think in my head I'd been like, now Max, you grew up watching anime and you obsessing over video games, and like, oh, your idea of what Japan is probably isn't what Japan is like. And then I got there and I was like, who am I kidding? They've got pictures of cartoon animals on everything. The train stations have individual jingles. You could buy hot coffee from machines using your bus pass.
I miss the train jingles so much.
So good.
It's just, I mean, even outside of like all the pop culture, right? Like, Tokyo is just such a nice city.
Yeah.
It's just,
Because they're not like monsters like we are. They don't.
I always describe it as like reverse time traveling when I come to San Francisco after Tokyo, because I get here and people are like, get out of the way, and there's a guy eating a double burger in the train.
Quit honking! I'm trying to take it.
First time I went on vacation to Japan, everyone was like, oh, it's going to be such a culture shock. And I'm like, I don't think so. I had a culture shock coming back to San Francisco with our rickety old trains that smell like
and this
never on time.
Yeah, and this is we live in like what many see to be a sort of like .com futuristic utopia. Tech
Silicon Valley is just...
Yeah, it yields a lot of trash, but it's also like San Francisco infrastructure wise is sort of a disaster.
It is just what infrastructure?
Yeah, our buses and trains are broken and archaic.
Some of the wealthiest people here, and they do not want to take care of the
most
city.
Human per
pipe
street
down over there, you socialist.
Per capita.
I don't know. Like Japan is wonderful. It's like it's the little tiny like things that I think are
yes.
nuts. There's that. I mean, I remember watching like The King of the Hill where they go to Japan and the fact that you can just get a beer from a vending machine is like.
I saw a dashi stock vending machine.
What?
That's awesome.
It was a jar with a fish in it and just full of dashi stock, just on a street.
I bought whiskey in a can and one of those like Metal Gear Solid calorie mates one night, and I was like, dinner, and it's like I'm sick now. It's
There's
great.
a convenience store on every corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also really like. I mean, I went to Germany for Gamescom 2 years in a row, and we stayed in the same hotel. And like this year, since I'm not fat anymore, I went like running along the river there, and it was just like getting up in the morning and doing that was really beautiful. Like Europe is in a completely different way. Just incredibly
I want to go to Europe,
beautiful,
badly.
wonderful place.
No, I mean it's interesting in the same way that like I don't know, like isolated places like Madagascar or like Patagonia develop entirely different kind of ecosystems. I feel like Japan kind of did that on a cultural level, where it's like very similar to stuff that we have in the West, but it's like it's got its own kind of its own beat, you know, it's its own kind of side to things, and that's just. I don't know. It's a funny little island full of like all sorts of like musical train stations and
I miss it.
whiskey in a can. Juan Rodriguez says, this is a good segue here. What is your favorite wrong depiction of a real place in a video game? I think Driver San Francisco, in that anybody who can drive in San Francisco doesn't drive in San Francisco.
They drive more like San Francisco Rush 24.
I was actually going to say San Francisco Rush.
Yeah,
I love that game.
That's a game about people driving incorrectly and crashing into buildings and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
That's up there.
What's funny actually is Watch Dogs 2 was very highly praised for its recreation of San Francisco, but actually like it was as someone who lives in San Francisco, it was very weird to see like my neighborhood is 2 blocks long apparently.
Yeah. Well,
it was just funny to see how condensed.
I described it as sort of like a fever dream version. Like when you're having a dream and there's like, you're driving and there's all of a sudden like you time jump, because I went from like driving around where IGN is supposed to be to all of a sudden like going to where my neighborhood's supposed to be. And then the Golden Gate Park just appeared. And so that happens a lot. And then meanwhile, they made like the Facebook Silicon Valley area just like gigantic. So
yeah,
I think the biggest missed opportunity with that game was that there were no cyclists.
Yeah.
There's so many bikes in San Francisco, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, oh yeah, let me get like a fixie. Let me get like a track bike that doesn't have gears or brakes and go to one of the hilliest places in America. That's a great idea.
So I didn't play Watch Dogs 2 too much, but I do remember their like East Bay area.
It's weird.
You set foot there, and there was like this group of people, and they like dropped everything they were doing and just pulled out guns and started shooting. And I was like, you
might have done something bad. That might have just been like hackers. I don't know.
It was just really funny.
Yeah. No, I mean it's weird because I live over in the East Bay, and getting I mean, it's funny because they were like, oh, sort of have Oakland, kind of Richmond, and then it's like 5 feet away from Marin County, and I'm like, that's like a 45-minute stretch there. Like that's like a long drive.
It's like over the bay.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's some parts that were incredibly accurate, and others that they just kind of like they sanded off the edges, and I get that.
but I mean, it's a game.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of places, Jason Torres says, would you rather live in Rapture or Silent Hill?
Would I rather live in Deep Sea Gulch or a nightmare town full of evil skin monsters?
Yeah.
Probably Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I'm torn on that because I feel like Silent Hill mostly sucks for like 5 people, but everybody else seems to be like kind of disjointed enough that they're like, it's okay.
It's also like if you take away all the stuff gone wrong, it's just a town. If you take away all the stuff gone wrong in Rapture, it's like I don't know, just a low pressure resort with crazy political views.
Are we talking like Rapture pre everyone addicted to drugs and becoming a splicer and killing each other, or are we talking like after?
I would still rather live in a cursed town than with a bunch of Ayn Rand enthusiasts.
Yeah, that
I'll
gets.
take.
And they're always gonna be
sticky.
playing that like weird old like Victrola music.
Also, I do have a debilitating phobia of the deep sea, so there's that too.
That's not gonna help.
Yeah, I don't really like. I wouldn't want to look out the window and just see like a fish. I don't like that at all.
I have a phobia of people buying crows from a vending machine and then shooting them out of their
Fair,
hands at me.
fair.
That's
I visited my hometown recently, and I went to a Barnes and Nobles, and it was like things that we've been reading lately, like staff recommendations, and it was Atlas Shrugged, and I was like, not surprised because of given my hometown, but also if I had to deal with that every day,
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe I'll take Silent Hill.
That's what
Yeah,
moving's
yeah.
for. And you
Also,
did
I like
it.
those games better. So.
Yeah, totally.
Silent Hill.
I don't think it'd be that
That
bad
sounds nice.
if you're not in like one of the if you're not like
Just-
where's my daughter and you're just like
join their cult, and
Yeah.
it's fine.
if you're
I
just
know,
a teacher or whatever.
Like Rapture sounds like a nightclub, and Silent Hill sounds like a retirement community. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that the latter sounds just more relaxing in general.
Join a cult and sell drugs to tourists.
yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin
it's good.
Pollard says, beer, liquor, or wine, or none of the above. What do you like to drink the most? I mean, I don't know. I probably like to drink water the most, or coffee. If we're getting, but like from I don't know, from that list, I like a nice hard liquor.
Yeah, I like a nice vodka soda with a lime. I've been in California for 9 years, so I became way more into wine since I moved out here.
I thought it was. I grew up in wine country. I thought wine was stupid as hell, and then I got older, and I'm like, oh, I get it. It's like a book for your mouth. Oh.
Yep.
I have a lit degree, so I try to get into wine, but I can't. I like cheap Asian beer.
Really?
Give
Really?
me like a
Can you name
you-
some brands?
You,
like Asahi.
Yeah.
Asahi's your go-to? Yeah.
Asahi.
Those are
I
good.
went to this some sushi restaurant, and I was like, yeah, let me get the large Asahi, and they were like, you know how big that is, and I was like, yeah, I know. I want a large one, and they bring me like it was like the can, the
Yeah,
giant,
the tall
the
cans.
liter. It's like
Yeah.
a liter can, and I was
It's like a Heineken keg can, or
was like,
the
well,
really big ones.
yeah.
They used to make those Heineken kegs that were like, it was like bring it to a party for yourself.
those things are
behind
like,
the
those are
train.
like super soakers for adults. I
Yeah.
love it. You like have these like plastic snap-on pieces, and then it has like a plastic hose that shoots beer out of it. It's wonderful.
It's weird. I have this problem. I think it's alcoholism, but where I don't really drink much anymore anyway. But I can't really. I've never had like one vodka soda, but I've had one glass of wine like 1,000 times. But I've never come home and been like, I'm going to have one mixed drink. Because like to do all that, to get all that out, break out the ice and start cutting the lime. The thing is, when you cut a lime, you have 3 left. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'll make all 3.
I don't like
three
to
more
put
drinks.
math problems back in my fridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want like half 3/4 of a lime in my fridge. So I end up having 4 drinks, and I have a headache the next day. But with wine, I can just have a glass of wine, put the top back on, come back, drink
Yeah.
the rest myself.
Yeah, but then if you're like me, you end up with like 4 like bottles of wine with like saran wrap shoved into the top because I don't know how to put you can't put the cork
Yeah.
back in. So what am I supposed to do?
I love
beer.
that.
I
I'm
don't.
very
I don't.
classy.
I don't do beer much anymore because it's just like bread water.
Yeah. I've been doing the whole like the stupid healthy January thing, and I haven't had beer, and I miss beer so much. I love beer. Beer's great.
It's February now.
Yeah. Well, I started late, so I got to go to Valentine's Day, and I can just get hammered. Anyway, that concludes our off-topic nonsense fun time. Please subscribe and like, and jump in the comments and ask us terrible, stupid questions, and maybe we'll respond. You can find us all on Twitter. I'm Max Scoville. He's Agent Bizzle, and Chloe is _Chloe CHLOI. And that's the end of the video. The end. Barrett, push stop.
Oh.
Please.